Okay, Rich, I have 7 o'clock. I'm just going to read the pre-meeting rules first and then turn it over to you. If that works for you.
Very good.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Dan Daniska, Assistant City Planner. I'm just going to read a few rules before we start. This is a web-based meeting, so we're operating under the following procedures. The session is being auto-recorded just like every other Wetlands Commission meeting. We are also video recording the proceedings. To ensure sound quality, I'd ask that you remain on mute unless it's your turn to speak or you're a commission member. Applicants and members of the public should have their video off. And if you're speaking and you have a new exhibit to show, hopefully that's not going to happen tonight, but you have to send it to me so I can add it to the website within 24 hours. And that's about it. I'll turn it over to you, Rich.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. The first thing we'll have to do is have a roll call for members, stating myself, Chairman Richard Morrell, Doug.
Vice Chairman Doug Lee.
Robert. Robert McCoy. You have to unmute yourself to respond.
I can see Brandon on the call.
Yeah, okay. Brandon Hyde.
Yes, Brandon Hyde here.
Is there anyone else?
Chalecki.
Pete Chalecki.
Yep.
And anyone else?
Avi Bhatt.
Are you a commission member?
I am the owner of one of the property.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm just calling a roll of commission members.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. First time I'm on this. Oh,
We have a roll.
okay.
The next will be approval of minutes. Is
So
anyone
moved.
state your name, please?
Sorry about that. Doug Lee, so moved.
Brandon Hyde, second.
All in favor, starting with Doug,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Any disagreement? Hearing none, so moved. Communications,
I don't have anything for you tonight.
public hearings, none. Old business, IWWCC number 20-13, 2 Sabrina's Court, which is an application for the construction of a new single-family home. Dan?
Sure. This is really a renewal of an older permit that was when the subdivision was approved back in 2006. It will require the disturbance of approximately 8,854 square feet of area within the upland review. There's a previously installed septic system on site that Uncas Health District has taken a look at and is okay with. We do have the applicants on tonight. If you'd like them to speak, I'd remind you that first, you have to decide if it warrants a public hearing and have a motion and second on that before you decide to approve or deny the application.
To our local Fox stations, we will now return you to your regular programming.
All right, I'm going to go to the other room.
Live on the Fox News channel, though.
Hopefully,
Doug, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I believe we need to first determine whether or not a hearing is required. So I would move for IWWCC number 20-13 that no hearing is required.
Brandon Hyde, second that motion.
There's a motion on the table. All in favor, beginning with Doug.
Doug Lee, aye.
Peter.
Looking at the numbers in Nevada as they begin to expand for Joe Biden.
Peter Chalecki.
Tonight is that at the end of the day, when all of these votes are counted, the election.
Aye. Peter Chouwaki.
So he is trying to. play
Brandon,
route to retain.
Brandon Hyde. Aye.
A couple of moments ago.
Robert, if you're still on.
Yeah, hi, aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion that this is not necessary for a public hearing has passed. Doug, do you have any questions for the applicants?
I do not have any questions for the applicants on this particular application.
Peter?
Rich, I can,
Oh, sorry. Doug, Dan?
I was just going to say, I'll go through my memo real quick before you get into any deliberations. Before,
Okay.
if people have questions first, that's fine.
No, go ahead.
Just real quickly, I would just add that the city engineer had no comment on the plan. We did discuss a ENS control bond estimate of $2,500. It's pretty standard for a single-family home construction. The zoning officer had no comments on the plan. We've worked well back and forth with the applicant over the last month or two, and I have a bunch of the standard boilerplate conditions that I'd ask anyone to include in the motion for approval. That's all.
Okay. Peter, did you have any questions for the applicant?
No question.
Brandon?
Have no questions. Thank you.
Robert?
No question.
Is there a motion to approve IWWCC 20-13 with the comments included in the memo from Dan?
Doug Lee, so moved.
Brandon Hyde, second with conditions.
There's a motion for approval on the table. Doug?
I believe, Rich, that Brandon signaled that he seconded with conditions. So the conditions need to be discussed, and then we need a new motion.
Dan, do you wish to read the conditions?
I would ask that you allow that to be waived, the reading of them.
Right, just that it included the conditions from your memo.
Yes, yep.
Were those the only conditions that you had in mind, Brandon?
Yes, simply stating a clarification that it was the conditions we were looking to include in your motion. Yes,
Thank you.
as read. Thank you.
There is a motion on the table. All in favor? Doug?
Doug, aye.
Brandon?
Brandon Hyde, aye.
Peter?
Peter, aye.
Robert?
Robert, aye. He said aye.
Yes, thank you. Any opposition? Hearing none, so approved. Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is IWWCC 20-14, 18 Farmview Drive, application for the installation of a residential rock landscape feature.
Yep, this is an application which is going to require approximately 600 square feet of disturbance and approximately 20 cubic yards of excavation and fill within the upland review area. The applicant is on the call tonight. If you have any questions, we've been out to the site a number of times. I do have some pictures if you want to see some pictures, and they can kind of walk you through what they're looking to do if you're so inclined.
So this is Doug. I'm happy to take a look at the pictures and have the applicant walk us through their plan.
Okay, Mr. Lujan, if you,
You have to unmute your phone.
*6.
So Dan, perhaps you can, is there any information in the picture beyond what's provided in the site plan?
so I have the site plan, I have the summary here, and then I can walk you through the pictures. This is the top end of it as it exists now. So water comes through this area, and then that is up near the shrubbery in this picture. And this area is where, oh, hold on, where the rock landscape feature will be. And this is a photo of the existing wall with a gap, and the wetlands are down in this property behind.
So this will eventually flow naturally as it has been for forever?
Correct. Correct.
And that's,
Very, very.
that was Phragmites in the previous picture?
No, I don't think
No.
that's Phragmites.
No, it's not.
That's
Okay,
not-
This is Jake Luhan. I think I'm back on.
Oh.
Can you hear me, please?
there we go.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, what can I mean, what you're looking at right now is the area in which this landscape feature will be installed. In the past, what I've done is simply let it grow wild. That's why it looks as it does. This area, I've always thought that this landscape feature would be an improvement to the property. I was inspired by what I've referred to as a Japanese rock pond that I saw out at the Japanese garden in Portland, Oregon. And it consists of simply a rock that gives the appearance of a pond at a distance without there being any water. It's really not a pond, it's a rock feature. It's there is some natural seasonal runoff. There's a spring that flows from my neighbor's property that wets the area north of the proposed location. There's uphill drainage. You can see the hill in the distance there from the east side of the property. And during heavier rain, you know, there's been puddling in the area. So what I'm working with the CLA engineers, what we intend to do is just drain the water basically through this rock landscape feature and direct it such that it flows through an existing natural swale that flows south through the wall that was seen in a previous picture that was put up. We've also tried to, you know, the location of the hole in the wall there was it was the area in which water flowed through the wall. It was in disrepair. We rebuilt the wall, but we left the water flow through the area shown because that was the existing and natural flow of water. And as it flows south from, you know, on my property, it flows south through this swale, which just follows natural contours through the wall, and then it flows back into the wetland area.
This is Brandon.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, am I allowed to?
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Okay. I'm very familiar with this piece of land, and actually just to educate everyone on the commission, this was formerly a hay field, so it was mowed on a regular basis, 2 or 3 times a year, this entire field area where all this subdivision is. So it's not that it's a wetland that had significant value in the past. It was a hayfield that was mowed at least 2 or 3 times a year previous to this. Knowing the area, I have no concerns with this type of feature.
So this is Doug. I have no question of the applicant.
Peter,
No questions.
Robert,
No question.
I ask for a motion on IWWCC 20-14.
I just remind you that you need a motion regarding the need for a public hearing
Okay,
or not.
This is Doug. I move that no public hearing is required for IWWCC number 20-14.
Peter Chilecki, second.
take a roll. All in favor? Doug,
Doug, aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Brandon. Any opposed? Hearing none, so moved.
Move to approve. This is Brandon. Move to approve IWWCC 20-14.
Brandon, I just asked that you add with the conditions from the memo, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll restate that. I, Brandon Hyde, move to approve IWWCC 20-14 with conditions as referred to by the city.
Is there a second?
Peter Chilecki, second.
Take a roll. Peter,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Doug.
Doug, aye.
All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none. IWCC 20-14 has been approved. What do we have next? Sherman Street grade?
We've got a few updates on previous issues.
Okay,
So first up is IWWCC number 2002-868 Scotland Road. I've got a packet scanned on the screen here. It's a cover letter from Tom Cummings from CLA. He says, attached is the report and plan regarding the above referenced wetlands matter. The site is stable and there's no evidence of erosion and sedimentation. He included a few pictures of the work. I'll scroll through those. I think those were before the map of the area. And as it is now, you can see with the fence installed. I believe Tucker's on the call if you have any questions of him. We do have a site plan that was part of the order from the original application. So at this point, I'd say we're satisfied with what's occurred to date.
any comments from anyone?
This is Doug. I don't have any comments or questions.
This is Brandon. I have no comments, but appreciate the update to the commission. Thank you.
This is Peter. I have no questions or comments.
Robert, no comments, question.
Item B, cease and desist order, 27 Pleasant Street.
Yep, that is still a work in progress. I don't know if everyone noticed the reply all from the homeowner there. So we're still, myself and the city engineer are still working with him to get that situation rectified and cleared up. And I'm sure I'll have another update for you in December. That's all I have right now.
Okay, we have some new business which will have to be moved to next month's meeting.
Well, the first one is just a jurisdictional ruling, which you can act on tonight. That's what we've done the past few that we've had for the subdivisions,
Okay,
if you don't mind.
no,
So the first is IWWCC number 20-15 JR, which is 150, 158, 154, and 162 Scotland Road. It's a request for a 3-lot subdivision on an 8.3-acre parcel. Jurisdictional ruling required by the IWWCC. It's property and application of American Property Group, LLC. Swarnjit Singh Bhatia, principal, assessor's map 52, block 1, lots 54, 55, 56, 57, zone R40. Let me just bring up what we have here. So this has no activity within 250 feet of flagged wetlands or within the upland review area located on or near the parcel. I went out this afternoon with Deanna and Brian Long. There has been cutting and dumping in the upland area, so you may want to have as part of your approval to require that the material be removed from the upland area. It was cut and dumped a long time ago. It's mainly brush and smaller trees, and furthermore, the wetlands flags are quite old and difficult to find. We'd ask that you require that they be reflagged. Statutorily, when a subdivision application comes in, it has to come before the Wetlands Commission for review and referral. It's before you for this ruling. It's going to go to the Commission on the City Plan on November 17th. And that's all I have, Rich.
okay, so what is it that we need to do here?
I need a motion saying the wetlands for a jurisdictional review in favor, and if someone wants to add those 2 comments I had about the wetlands flags and the debris removal from the upland area.
Okay, is there a motion?
Excuse me, Dan, this is Deanna.
Yep.
Hi, Deanna.
Hi, how are you guys? Hey, the motion should not be an approval, just a motion that the commission has no jurisdiction because there's no activity proposed within the upland, or it be within the wetland or upland areas. That's all it is.
Yes,
Okay. Thanks.
thank you.
Just a point of clarification. This is Brandon. Typically, I believe this is where when we send something back to the city Commission on City Plan, it's either favorable or non-favorable. Is that where we stand with this? Because,
Yes,
okay. Thank you. So I guess I move that the Wetlands Commission sends a favorable decision to the Commission on City Plan, noting the conditions that Dan had mentioned with the reflagging and the cleaning up of the dumping. That's it.
This is Doug, second.
there's a motion on the table. All in favor, starting with Doug,
Doug, aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
anyone voting against? Hearing none, so moved. Dan,
So next is we have a show cause hearing for an unauthorized land disturbance in an upland area at 45 Briar Hill Road in Norwich, Assessor's Map 114, Block 1, Lot 12, Zone R20. I have the letter that was sent. The city engineer and I went out just last week, and I have a site plan that was provided by Bob Mullen of CLA. Really, the area concern is there's an intermittent water course that comes from a city catch basin, and there's a drainage easement that the city has on the property. And what the homeowner is looking to do in the long term is kind of rebuild this drainage easement and straighten it out. It's become all, it's not functioning how it was originally intended to function. So there's been minor disturbance and cutting of brush in an area kind of where I'm moving the cursor here. And then there's been a slight bit of fill installed here. But I have a letter here from CLA as well, Bob Russo, stating that it's not wetlands per se, it's a wet weather stream.
So where is he suggesting that the pipe be installed?
There's existing pipe here that goes right to where my cursor is.
Yeah.
And I don't think there'll be any new pipe added. They're just they want to kind of rebuild the swale that's fallen into disrepair over decades through here. So basically straighten it back out so it doesn't spill out this way. It goes where it was intended to go.
Okay.
So Dan, just a point, this is Doug, just a point of clarification. In my reading of Bob Russo's letter, he indicates that you could install additional pipe, or that engineering said that additional pipe could be installed in the dedicated easement.
Correct. And when I was out in the field with Brian, he doesn't feel that it's necessary. If they want to do that, that's fine. But if not, and they're just going to rebuild the swale, that's fine with him as well.
Okay. The only reason why I raised the question is does the city have a position on just rebuilding the swale alone, or are you willing to allow an either or option?
I think Brian was willing to allow an either or option, but he was fine with just rebuilding the swale. Basically, Public Works isn't going to install any new pipe themselves at the city's expense. What's there functions just fine now up to the point where it exits from the pipe.
Okay.
So I just remind you, with a show cause hearing, you have 3 options for the cease and desist or cease and correct to remain in effect. You can revise it or you can withdraw it. And we just had one of these last month. So same deal here again.
So this is Doug. Based on the communication subsequent to the cease and desist letter for the unauthorized land disturbance at 45 Briar Hill Road, I would propose that the cease and desist be closed.
I second that motion, Brandon Hyde, with the understanding that even though we close it, they'll continue to work with the city, correct? Dan?
Yes, yes. We'll be involved. At least Brian Long would be involved. at the very least. Yep.
For clarification, I second the existing motion. Thank you.
There's a motion on the table. I'll take a roll. Peter,
Aye.
Robert,
Aye.
Doug,
Doug, aye.
Brandon,
Brandon, aye.
so moved. Receipt of applications.
We do have one. It's going to be IWWCC 2016. It's the Sherman Street Bridge replacement.
Yes. And that has to be received for next month's meeting.
Correct.
Is there any, there's voluminous amounts of plans. Is
Correct.
there the possibility that I can reserve a room for an hour to look at these plans?
You want to come in and look at them? Yeah, you can make an appointment with us, and we can have you come into the basement to look at them. Yep.
Very good. I'll do that later.
Okay.
Is there a motion for this application?
Just trying to scan and see if we have the application number.
It's 20-16, Doug.
Thank you. This is Doug. I would move that IWWCC 20-16 be tabled until the December 2020 meeting.
Is there a second?
Pete, second.
It's a motion on the table to, motion to table item 20-16. All in favor, starting with Robert,
Yes. Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Brandon,
Brandon, aye.
Doug,
Doug, aye.
so moved. Other business, Dan?
Nothing tonight. No
Violation.
violations either.
Okay, a move to adjourn.
Pete, motion to adjourn.
Pete, go ahead, please.
Done.
Is there a
Doug,
second?
Second.
All in favor, starting with Doug,
Doug, aye.
Brandon,
Brandon, aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Robert,
Robert, aye.
hearing no other regrets, so moved. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.